think Coach is maybe trying to send a message, maybe to offense and defense about red zone play here? Or?
Yeah, I mean, Coach explained to us why in our meetings, and typically NFL games are won and lost inside the red zone and 2-minute drills. So start off with 2 minutes and heavy red zone. That was just kind of start the camp on the right note. Everything kind of happens a little quicker in the red zone. There's some good today. There's some not so good today. So I mean, it's the first day of camp. We got a lot of practices left to get some of these things fixed up. Communication was really big for us today, and I thought as an offense, we really gelled and we were able to talk to each other and we communicated very well.
How different does it feel for you? Just take yourself back a year ago this time. How different does it feel?
Yeah, I mean, it's extremely different knowing that I'm getting the number one reps. Whenever the ones are out there, these are my reps. I'm going back to last year. It's like, I don't know, and maybe I'm getting a couple of 3s or 2s here and there, and maybe switched into the 1s for a play or 2 here or there. So just the feel of the whole thing, knowing that, it's, getting those reps are extremely crucial, I think, for a quarterback.
Does it remind you of how far you've come and maybe in some senses how far you still have to go?
I mean, a little bit. I know there's still a lot that I got to learn in this game, a lot that I got to do to improve. And I'm going to work my tail off until I get to, where I need to be to help this football team in games.
Josh, how much of a leap have you made in terms of playbook? How much of an expansion have they made from year 1 to year 2 for you? Where are you in that process?
I mean, Coach Dable's been doing a really good job, with our entire offensive room, especially our quarterback room, with getting plays that we really like in, and if we don't like a play, getting those out. Obviously, being here for over a year, having the same system, the same terminology, having that relationship with Dave's, we're able to bounce ideas off each other, and that's one thing Dave's is just fantastic at. He's always willing to learn, always willing to take something from somebody else. He's eager to get better, as a play caller, and he wants this offense to run as smoothly as possible.
With everything that happened last year, when you jumped in to start, good games, bad games, injuries, at the time it probably seemed something you had to deal with. Now looking back, how much did all of that, good and bad, help you coming into this year?
Everything that you can do, during the season, you learn from. If you don't learn from it, that's when you lose. So having those game reps and those experiences and going out for a while and having Derek come in and having Matt come in, learning from those guys and then going out and being able to apply what I've learned from those guys and put it onto the field. And it's kind of sucks because last year I really started feeling like I was getting things going. I felt like I was getting in a groove, and unfortunately the season ended on us. So now with these reps, with what I've learned, with what I'm continuing to learn, and guys that I'm trusting around me, and the addition of Coach Dorsey, he's been helping a lot. So I can't wait to get out there and actually start playing some football games.
Josh, when John Brown was signed, everybody talked about his deep threat ability, which he obviously has, but it seems like he also has ability to separate horizontally as well as vertically. Do you notice that? And does that surprise you, maybe what he's bringing to the table extra?
Yeah, I mean, obviously everybody knows he's a speedster, but he's very smooth. Smooth is very fast, especially when it comes down in the red zone. Being able to get in and out of cuts, he's been doing a really good job with that, and that's something he's been continuing to work on. He's a vet. He's a very smart kid. He wants to learn. Shouldn't have said kid. He's older than me. But he's a smart guy, and I really appreciate having him and his curiosity to learn our playbook and get in and dive in and work with me before and after practice.
Josh, do you feel?
Does it feel different with not just because they're new faces, but Brown, Beasley, these new weapons that are around you? How does that? How do you translate to that, like in terms of just the feel of having these different guys and the different skills that they?
We still got a long ways to go. Obviously, having them here is great. We're still trying to find out what roles, what things they're really good at, what things they can and can't do. And that's going to be a learning process throughout this training camp. We're just trying to look to improve and get better. And every day we go out there, we're going to learn something new about each other. They're going to learn stuff about me, and I'm going to learn stuff about them. We're going to talk about it, communicate, and hopefully apply that to the game field.
Josh, do you feel the weight of the expectation? You're in your second year. People are expecting a jump, and not only you but the team. And do you feel that weight being kind of placed on you right now as the guy?
Not at all. This comes with the territory. I understand that, and listen, I love football. I love what this game entails. I love everything about it. I love being a Buffalo Bill. I love being here in Buffalo. I love this team, and I love being a part of this team. So, that pressure really doesn't seem so heavy when you think about it that way. We got guys around you that are going to do their job, and that's where the communication and the camaraderie, everything that we've worked on in OT kind of applies to camp. And we continue to build on that and get into season. It's very fluid, and we have a good thing going here.
Coach, you're talking to Coach McDermott before practice today. You know, the whole continuity issue came up. So many new pieces on offense. You just kind of referenced it a little bit, but he talked about sooner the better in terms of building chemistry. Can you talk maybe in detail about the challenge of that, where you think things are right now, how much of a sense of urgency, how far away you are from being game ready in that area?
I mean, there is a sense of urgency, but we understand that football, real games are played, in a couple months, or in a month and a half. So we understand that there's time, but at the same time, we don't want to wait. We want to get things going now. I think that's what Coach alluded to. Sooner the better. So we're going to continue to talk and continue to get reps on the field, and whether it's in walkthrough or after practice, we're going to try to get as many reps of me throwing the ball to them as much as possible.
Josh, sorry if you've been asked this already, but Brandon said earlier today that something they wanted you focusing on was taking those checkdowns when they were available. I saw a lot of that in practice today. So how big of a focal point was that in day one?
I wouldn't say it was a focal point just in day one, but I think it's going to focal point in OTAs as well. So it's going to be something I'm looking forward to doing a little more of. Obviously, getting the ball into our playmakers' hands, making the right decision. That's what it all kind of comes down to. Checkdowns aren't usually a cop out. It's usually the smartest play. When everybody drops back, get it to a running back, get it to a tight end, get it to our slot, and let them make a play. And, a 2-yard throw can turn into 20. And we got to understand that. I got to do a better job of understanding all that stuff too. So. It's still a learning process, and I'm anxious and eager to continue to do that.
Josh, you were spending big money on Mitch through the offseason. Just your early impressions of him. I know you guys had to run a lap at one point for watching a snap.
My fault.
Yeah. Okay.
No, I love Mitch. Being down there, obviously in the center, he's making a lot of different calls, and he's extremely smart. He's extremely talkative in the huddle. He just knows what's going on. And he's only been in the system for a little bit, and obviously we didn't get a whole lot of reps in OTAs, but I feel like, what he did last year and coming into this year in our situation, he stepped into the role, and he's going to own it, and he's going to be the man.